We're going to look at point slope form and how it is done while graphing. So we're going to look at how to graph an equation first. Now with point slope form, you have to remember that it's y minus y1 is equal to its slope times x minus x1. So you first have to find your slope. So on here, I know that my slope is 2/3. Then I want to find my point. So I have to have an x and a y. So my point, I know if it's -3, it's always really the opposite, so it's going to be a +3. And if it's a +2, I'm going to make it a -2 because it's always the opposite, because once you plug it in, it changes the sign. So I'm going to first plot my point. So I have 3, -2. That's my first point. I'm then going to take my slope to find my next point. So I have 1, 2, up 2, which is +2, over 1, 2, 3, which is a +3. You also could go down 2 and to the left 1, 2, 3, and that would be another point. You can draw your line, draw your arrows, and then it would be completed. Now you want to first always find your slope. So we have y minus 1 equals 3/4 times x plus 1. So my slope here is 3/4. My point I'm trying to find, I have to find my x value first. So this is a +1, so I know this is going to be a -1. This is a -1, so it's going to be a +1. So I'm going to plot -1, 1. Then I'm going to use my slope and we go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4. I went up 3 and to the right 4, which makes it positive. I also could go down 3 and to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. And there would be my line. So I draw my arrows indicating that the line will forever go on. Another type of graphing, it would be that you have to write an equation from a graph. So in this case, you always want to see if you have points and you have slope, you got to make sure you can find the slope first. That's always your first thing that you need to do. So it says write an equation in point slope form of the line shown. Use the right-handed point to write the equation. Well, we know the right-handed point is 1, 1, so we can write that down. Our slope, we're going to find by counting the points. You also can find it by taking y2 minus y1 and subtracting it, and over x2 minus x1. But in this case, I'm just going to go up 1, 2, and then to the left 1, 2, which is going to be -2. So it would be a +2 over a -2, which is end up being -1. So that's my slope. And my point is 1, 1. So how I would write this equation would be y minus 1 is equal to -1 times x minus 1. That would be my equation written in point slope form. So then I would be done because it just wants it in point slope form. Now in this case, they wanted us to do the same thing. So I'm first going to find my slope. So up 1, 2, 3. So +3 over 1 to the right. So it's +1. So my slope is 3 over 1, which really stands for 3. Now it also wants me to use the right-handed point. So that is 2, 4. So I'm going to write an equation from that. So I have y minus 4 is equal to 3 times x minus 2. You always do the opposite. 4 was the y value, so it turns into a -4. 3 was the slope times x minus 2 because it was a +2 and it's always the opposite. So that would be our final answer.